This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, truth and reconciliation. Events around the province honor survivors of residential schools and the children who never returned home. And Halifax's St. Paul's Church, Canada's oldest Anglican church, celebrates its 275th year while reflecting on its difficult past.
Chance of a few showers tonight and in through Tuesday in the east, mainly sunny in the west, but high pressure taking over for midweek. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for a half-hour special tonight to mark the 4th National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Across this country, many are remembering and reflecting on the dark history of Canada's former residential school system. Here in Nova Scotia, events took place across the province, including one held by Shubenacadie First Nation. Our Luke Ettinger was there.
One flag at a time, an orange heart became full at the residential school property in Shubenacadie. The facility closed in 1967 and is now a National Historic Site. Bernie Sillaboy's mother spent 8 years there and insisted her children not attend.
She would rather see us dead than go to the school.
Fear of the residential school echoed by East Hants councillor Carl McPhee, who grew up nearby.
When on occasion I would ask my mother why I should never go near the school, the reply was just that I mustn't go there and to avoid any of the men in black robes from the school. After hearing my father relate a few stories that he knew about how children were treated there, I came to fear the place.
Shubenacadie First Nation Chief Michelle Glasgow says the events on the residential school site are part of taking meaningful steps toward reconciliation.
Not just today, but every day. Let this time be a time of learning, listening, and standing with our survivors.
The day included crafts for children, language teachings, traditional games, and a lobster giveaway for community members, as well as drumming and dancing. Sillaboy attended with his grandchildren. It was a moment to reflect on the traumatic experiences of his family. He says sledding on the school's hillside in the winter was an escape for his wife who attended.
And it was a sense of freedom. And she would hold out her hands and close her eyes, and she would just feel the breeze blowing in her face, and knowing that, you know, she was flying away. You know, she always thought, she always had that in her mind that she was flying away from the school.
Sillaboy says decades after attending, his wife rekindled a bond with a fellow residential school survivor from Burnt Church, New Brunswick, a connection he's maintained since she's passed. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Shubenacadie.
Hundreds of people gathered today in Millbrook First Nation. The day started with a group walk, followed by the unveiling of the newly renamed Nora Bernard Community Centre. The CBC's Selena Alders has that story.
People of all ages wore their orange shirts with pride as they recognized survivors of Canada's residential schools and the children who never returned home. This year on Millbrook First Nation, the community is honoring the late Nora Bernard. She was a member of the community, a Mi'kmaq activist, and a survivor herself.
You know, my Aunt Nora was a very humble woman. She would be like, it would be like, oh, okay, thank you. You know, it would just, she was very humble, so it would be really nice for her. Yeah.
Bernard's niece describes her as sweet and kind, but a fierce protector. Bernard was a driving force behind a class action lawsuit against the federal government on behalf of residential school survivors. It was settled in 2005 for upwards of $5 billion.
And it's about showing that the things these survivors went through, these families went through, were real. And I think that's the important thing, is sharing the truth that people don't want to hear, but it involves bringing back the healing process with it, and that's why it's important.
The theme here at Millbrook was all about healing from the past while moving toward a more positive future. Bernard's family says that's exactly what she would have wanted. Selena Alders, CBC News, Millbrook First Nation.
In Halifax, hundreds of people gathered at the Mi'kmaq Native Friendship Center to mark the day. The event featured cultural teachings from First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and welcomed Indigenous and non-Indigenous guests. Organizers strive to get children involved through a picture book reading, cultural crafts, and food. The elder-in-residence and community events manager says there are important lessons to be learned from this day, and she hopes children and their parents leave with new perspectives.
You know, we might have different colors of skin, we might have different ways of doing things, we might have different religious or spirituality, but in the end, we're all human beings and we all need to come together and love each other and work side by side and not one in front of the other and just be there for each other as human beings. That's what I hope.
Ison says she usually plans this event, but this year the Mi'kmaq Native Friendship Center's youth group planned it with her guidance, so younger people can be mentored to grow into the event planning role. Well, today is also Orange Shirt Day. It's a movement inspired and founded by residential school survivor Phyllis Webstad. Webstad was only 6 years old when she went to residential school in British Columbia. On her first day of school, the orange shirt she was wearing, a gift from her grandmother, was taken from her and never returned. And that story has inspired thousands of Canadians across the country to wear orange on the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
What I want to do is to not only be able to tell my story, but I want to hear the stories of survivors and their families, and to meet people and to hear, because my story is one of 150,000 children that were taken from their homes and their families.
In Ottawa today, a special ceremony took place to remember those who suffered in residential schools and those who never returned home.
We honor the resilience of survivors who continue to bravely share their stories so that we may learn. In their stories, there is unspeakable pain, but there is also tremendous courage and determination to emerge into healing and light.
Governor General Mary Simon joined survivors and Indigenous leaders on Parliament Hill. Simon led a sacred fire ceremony at Rideau Hall earlier in the day. Events and ceremonies are happening across Canada, celebrating the achievements of Indigenous people. And in Winnipeg, people took part in a healing walk, then gathered for a powwow. The Prime Minister is taking part in events in the Northwest Territories. Well, St. Paul's Church in Halifax is marking its 275th anniversary this year. But the congregation has a difficult past, having clashed with the region's Mi'kmaq when British settlers arrived in 1749. The CBC's Ali Thompson visited the church to learn more.
When you celebrate something, it's always an imperfect thing unless you've got a sort of publicity gloss on it. The congregation met first in 1749, and then a year later had a home, physical home, 1750.
And so tell me about the church at that time.
So part of our preparations for considering our 275th anniversary was to reconsider that kind of murky past, and to think a bit about how that connected with the Indigenous population that already lived here. And we have done that with our historical placarding. A lot of tourists and people come through, and the foundation panel was significantly changed to recognize where the church was first established.
Joseph Howe, those kind of historians of Nova Scotia, they recorded these events as well in their history book of Cornwallis declaring proclamation on scalp on Mi'kmaq in 1749, and that was all the big protest in Halifax to tear down the statue of Cornwallis and all of that.
On the big scheme, we have referenced and wholly supported the apologies delivered by the Anglican Church of Canada and by the Archbishop of Canterbury for the way in which the community of faith did not distinguish itself from the British imperial project. It was wrapped up in it.
Well, a church like this, which was the established church, and after that very much what one might call an establishment church, was a place where great celebrations would be held to commemorate events such as the deaths of important people in the community, important moments in the history of the British Empire, such as, say, coronations, the deaths of monarchs, and so on.
And so tell me about how it was impacted by the Halifax explosion.
Well, St. Paul's was not damaged as much by the explosion as one might have expected. It was perhaps the only church in Halifax which was still in sufficiently good condition to be used during the Halifax explosion. It was a place where individuals were cared for and where worship continued, not only by members of St. Paul's, but by other communities.
So tell me the real story of the window.
Well, the window was damaged by the Great Explosion.
When people come and visit St. Paul's, it's one of the things they always want to come and see, because the windows in the galleries were blown out, but one of the windows was blown out, but it left a silhouette of an individual, or it looks like the silhouette of an individual. And the parishioners were so taken with this that they left the broken window, put 2 panes of glass on either side, and you can still see it today.
And I understand there's a piece of glass from the windows still in the wall?
Well, it's actually a piece of metal, which was blown through the window in the narthex and into the wall. And you can get an idea of the force of the explosion by looking at this piece of metal and how it was driven into the wall and is still there to this day.
This is a church in the middle of downtown Halifax and has been here since the city's inception. What has it meant to the community over those hundreds of years?
Well, I can't speak authoritatively. I can tell you what we hope it has meant and means is that although it is a community of faith with a confession, and any church is, any religion is, we hope it has open doors and windows so that people can come and go. Those who gather, say, midweek or on a Sunday for a liturgy of worship, they are generally, although not always, people committed to the Christian faith. But the church is open to all inquirers. It's open to people coming in and out of the building just to meditate in their own tradition or to take it in historically with the help of the historical panels and literature that we have here, or simply as a place to seek refuge. One of the important things that we want to leave is that, it's necessary to acknowledge that in the past of any institution, it's made mistakes, and that it needs to be very thoughtful and creative in reaching out to the communities that it wronged or might have wronged. But the other thing is simply to celebrate the fact that our ancestors devoted so much time to so many meaningful things for the city, and that these things continue to be important to us today.
There is a national hotline available for survivors of residential schools and their families. You can call the crisis line at 1-866-925-4419 for immediate support 24 hours a day. Just a beautiful evening out there. Ryan will be back with his weather forecast in just a few minutes. Well, as far as Septembers go, this has been a spectacular one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where the final numbers land, but I have to think this is going to be one of the warmest, no doubt. I mean, think about how many days we were into the 20s across the province. So really, really nice September, no doubt.
And it went by so fast.
It flew by. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why,
Maybe.
right? And terrific evenings as well. And this is one of them. Have a look at our webcam video.
Gorgeous.
White Point Beach, what a sunset. I mean, that sky looks incredible.
Some cotton candy clouds there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Just terrific. And yes, thanks to NovaScotiaWebcams.com, of course, for that live shot. And yeah, you can see it certainly has been a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Temperatures out there right now ranging between 14 at Shubenacadie and 20 degrees down into the South Shore region, 18 in Halifax, 20 in Lunenburg. And as we look into the winds, and you can see the winds for the most part have been in the sustained 15 to 20, 30 range right now, just a tad shy of that in the Halifax area. It's been most gusty in through the east, where we've been gusting towards 30 and 40 kilometers per hour. Now, walking you through the satellite and radar picture, and you can see the clouds have been a bit stubborn, Cape Breton and across Antigonish down towards Guysborough. This is where we've been seeing some showers blowing in, wrapping around this frontal boundary, which is stalled over Newfoundland and Labrador, or at least has been working its way from west to east today, rather, but will remain stalled over Newfoundland and Labrador as we move into tomorrow. This low kind of spinning around to the east, and we've got the remnants of Helene, a devastating storm that has been. Oh, man. And of course, the remnants of that low still spinning, still raining themselves out over the U.S. Southeast in that historic storm that just did so much damage, unfortunately. Now, as we look in north of the border, this low here, noteworthy because this frontal boundary and the wind wrapping into the backside of this system is one of the coldest we've seen so far, at least sustained widespread coldest shots. I mean, that is looking very fall-like there, is it not? Across the prairies, Whitehorse just at 6, Yellowknife at 4. You can see temperatures still very warm across the U.S. South. Tonight, the winds are going to be from the north, northeast for the most part, north to northwest across Cape Breton. Chance of showers eastern edging into central areas with temperatures in those low double digits. And as we look into the timeline here, you can see just these showers wrapping in that northerly flow. Now, for the most part, they're going to be fairly isolated. Now, as we move towards tomorrow morning, and you can see most of us starting into the low double digits with some high single digits, certainly not out of the question. Then moving throughout the day, mostly sunny here, mix of sun and cloud in the east, including Cape Breton, with those isolated showers that are going to be moving in that northeast flow, which will be sustained for tomorrow, north to northeast. We're going to be seeing temperatures 14, 15 degrees in those onshore winds to as warm as 16 to 18 down towards Port Hawkesbury. And then as we move our way inland, that's where we'll see the most widespread 17 and 18 degree temperatures for the day tomorrow. Now, note the shower chances really tapering off here into the west, where we're going to be mostly sunny. As we look into the afternoon, those northeast winds will continue. More widespread sunshine on Wednesday. Temperatures 15 to 18 degrees for the most part, a couple of 19 and 20s. Not out of the question. That high will kind of wander back off to the north. Still a bit of a east flow on Wednesday, but it's a lighter wind. And then as we move into Thursday, this front moving off to our north will shift the winds back to a little more west to southwest on Thursday. But we'll likely see the bump in that temperature from that wind more so on Friday. That's going to be our best shot at more widespread 20s will be Friday. And then as we move into the weekend, we're looking at some shower chances Saturday into Sunday. But the weekend's not looking like a washout at this point, with temperatures into the mid to high teens. So we'll keep you posted on that over the next few days, Amy.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
And we're back after this. Welcome back to our special programming to mark the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. The legacy of residential schools is also being reflected on in the schools of today. Students are paying tribute to the Indigenous children who suffered or who never returned home. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson has that story from Toronto.
It's only in its fourth year, but the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation has quickly become one of the most significant days on the school calendar, in large part because of the connection children feel to kids just like them who were ripped away from their homes and sent to residential schools.
It just makes me realize what their families have gone through, so that they got their children taken away when I can come back from school and see my mom and dad.
Everything they had was taken away from them. They couldn't be who they are for their life.
At St. Malachy Catholic School in Toronto, children did several ceremonies to commemorate the day. They got to witness a drumming circle and a smudging ceremony, and two elders were also here who had previously met with Pope Francis, speaking to the complex and evolving relationship between the Catholic Church and Indigenous peoples.
And this is some of the most inspiring actions to be able to do things like this today. That to see the change that this is for us when we're helping this generation to make positive change for the future.
And while the day did not shy away from difficult subjects, it did end on a note of hope. Children made orange hearts and planted them into the ground with messages written on them, messages of hope for the future where things like residential schools should never happen again.
This day means hope because it's for all the children that were in those schools that were suffering. Now, since there's no more residential schools, for those people that managed to survive and are living peacefully now, it means a lot to me.
Deanna Sumanek-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
A new residential school memorial monument was officially unveiled today at the Canadian Museum of History in Gatineau, Quebec. The monument is carved out of a red cedar tree and topped by a massive 2-meter tall raven. It was created by master carver Stanley Clifford Hunt. He says the monument is a reflection of his grief from hearing news reports in 2021 of potential burial sites found at the former Kamloops Indian Residential School.
We talked about it for a couple or 3 months, and at the end of it, we came to the conclusion of, should we do something for the children? I said, we should, and can we do something for the children? I said, we can.
The monument is decorated with faces of children with solemn, unsmiling expressions, as well as symbols of institutions that participated in the residential school system, turned upside down to reflect complicity. And that is it for us tonight. We'll be back for our full hour-long programming tomorrow evening. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.